Bitcoin hits 112K as institutional demand surges. Ethereum Eyes Revival with pectra upgrade. Welcome back to this week's deep dive into the world of cryptocurrency. In today's lead story, we're taking a close look at how Bitcoin has climbed to a record high of $112,000, fueled by growing institutional interest and political backing. Meanwhile, Ethereum is making headlines with its latest technical milestone, the pectra upgrade, designed to address long-standing scalability concerns. Let's break down what's driving these two giants and what it could mean for the broader market. Bitcoin's meteoric rise past $112,000 marks a critical turning point in market sentiment. While equities have remained volatile amid broader macroeconomic uncertainty, Bitcoin's surge suggests a decoupling from traditional markets, and much of it is due to institutional capital flows. Major asset managers, such as BlackRock and Fidelity, have been steadily increasing their exposure through ETFs, with Bitcoin ETFs seeing over $15 billion in cumulative inflows over the last few months. The narrative has shifted. Bitcoin is no longer just a hedge or speculative asset, it's now being positioned as a legitimate store of value, potentially even a component of national strategy. In fact, recent proposals by the Trump campaign and allies have added political fuel to the rally. Trump has floated the idea of the United States holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, echoing similar moves already taken by Texas and New Hampshire, which are working on Bitcoin reserve legislation at the state level. This represents a major ideological shift. Where past U.S. administrations were cautious, even hostile toward crypto, this new wave of policy support is creating a favorable legal and regulatory environment for long-term adoption. Bitcoin's mining hash rate has also seen a new all-time high, signaling increased network security and institutional trust in the underlying infrastructure. But there are still challenges. As price climbs, network fees and transaction congestion are beginning to reappear, reigniting conversations about Bitcoin's scalability, a topic that Ethereum is trying to tackle head-on. While Bitcoin dominates the headlines with price action, Ethereum is quietly laying the groundwork for future growth. The pectra upgrade, which rolled out earlier this month, is Ethereum's most comprehensive technical overhaul since the merge in 2022, when it transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake. Pectra brings major upgrades to Ethereum's execution and consensus layers, including protodant sharding support, a foundational step toward future roll-up scalability, which could make layer-to networks like Arbitrum and Optimism dramatically more efficient. New wallet standards, ERC for 337. These introduce account abstraction, which will allow for smart contract-based wallets that are more secure, flexible, and user-friendly. Validator changes, with reduced entry requirements. More participants can join Ethereum staking pools, promoting decentralization. Despite these technical wins, Ethereum's price has lagged behind Bitcoin, currently hovering around $2,550, still well below its 2021 high of $4,800. This may reflect market skepticism about Ethereum's role amid the rising dominance of Bitcoin ETFs and the lack of a spot ETH ETF in the US. However, smart contract activity remains strong, with DeFi TVL total value lock on Ethereum and LTS slowly climbing back to pre-0.2 levels. With pectra in place and EIP for sharding upgrades coming next, Ethereum could be setting the stage for its own bull run, one based more on fundamentals than speculation. So where does this leave us? Bitcoin is clearly reaping the rewards of mainstream financial integration. ETFs, political support, and macroeconomic uncertainty are aligning to drive demand. Ethereum, on the other hand, is doubling down on infrastructure and usability, focusing on scalability and decentralization essential for the next wave of Web3 applications. We may be entering an era where Bitcoin becomes the global digital reserve, while Ethereum cements itself as the foundation of the decentralized internet. Both assets are maturing, and with that maturity comes divergence in use cases, investor profiles, and market behavior. For investors and users alike, understanding this evolution is key to navigating the future of crypto. That's your Bitcoin and Ethereum update for the week. From institutional adoption to technical innovation, the world's top two cryptocurrencies are entering a new chapter. Stay tuned for more.